Good afternoon, ladies. I hope there are many of you out there that are watching. I want to once again welcome you to the IVMF family. You are now part of an alumni group, a VY's alumni group of 1,809 ladies from across the nation, 47 states. And the IVMF family is now 30,000 strong, so quite representation. I'm sure there are some folks out there who are part of the family that you may not even know are yet. But it's our pleasure to have this opportunity to bring you what we consider the Phase 3 Hangout. For those that are becoming familiar with Google+, this is a platform that we will probably use in the future, so we encourage you to get smart on it so you can connect. We love to see your faces. Teresa, thank you for joining us. I think that you're the only one that's on live right now, but I know that there are probably several that are watching via the Google Plus channel and also via YouTube. So hello to everybody out there. I am joined by my colleague Kim Krula, the VY's program coordinator, who you all know well now, and the two of us are going to take some time and we're going to talk about the Phase 3 supports that are available to you, both through our partners and also internal to the IVMF. So bear with us as we make our way through what you should already have in PDF form, which is the Phase 3 Keep Moving booklet. What you also should have from us, and it's the way that you got that PDF in the first place, is an email. It's a VY from the VY's Biz inbox. This is a new email address for you to make sure isn't going to your spam box, but vysbiz@syr.edu is our way to communicate to you additional post-program supports. Here and there, you'll also see emails coming directly from Kim and I. Kim's email address, as you know, is kakrula@syr.edu, and my email address is mconroy@syr.edu. But this VY's Biz support email is going to be the main way that we're communicating the Phase 3 supports to. What you're going to be seeing coming down the road from us is, and I want you to be on the lookout because it again is going to be coming from that email, is you are going to see quarterly newsletters. The first one will hit your inbox before the end of September, and then on a quarterly basis you'll be receiving newsletters from us. Some of the things that we like to put in there are some, hi there Rebecca, so we have a Rebecca who just joined us live as well. So some of the features that we enjoy putting in those newsletters are some grad spotlights. That's our opportunity to share some success stories out there. I will indicate that we only know the information that we're receiving, so we encourage you, and Kim's going to probably hit on it once again a little bit later, but we like to hit on it a few times. We encourage you to share your stories of success. We're going to put in some news you can use. So some different awards programs that are out there, definitely anything that's internal to the IVMF, any business plan competitions that we're going to be hosting, which I'm sure we'll do in the future, any upcoming events that we think might be exciting, and then it's just a great opportunity for us to continue to share partner resources with you as those become available, because I will tell you that Phase 3 is evolving. It's something that is only going to grow for you, so stay in touch on the opportunities that are going to be available to you. What I will do over the next probably 10 to 15 minutes is talk to you about some of the access to capital programs that are available and a couple other services out there through our partners. And then Kim will hop on and she's going to talk to you about a lot of the supports that are available to you internal to the IVMF, and also talk about another partner resource that is out there before we wrap it all up and answer any questions that you may have. As you know, you can reach out to us in multiple ways, whether it be via phone or email. This is just a fun way for us to be able to once again maybe see you over Google Plus and have a more direct way to talk to you about the supports. This is going to be recorded. In fact, it's being recorded right now, so it is a resource that you can use later on. And for those who don't have the opportunity to get on live, then of course you'll have the opportunity to visit the YouTube Hangout. We're going to send it out as a link via email as well. So what I'm going to dig into, and I don't have the fun part, Kim has the fun part. What I'm going to dig into is some of the access to capital opportunities. I'm going to preface it with, you all know that we encourage use of the Small Business Administration. They have a lot of free resources that are out there. They have business counselors that are out there. So connect in with your local SBA office. They are also going to know who in your area are approved and SBA-backed lenders, and they have a multitude of loan programs. The most common that you may have heard of is the 7A program. That is their general small business loan program. So hop onto the SBA.gov site. They have a tab that's specific to their loan programs, and that's a really good place to start. I am also going to talk to you about some of the other partners that we've worked with. And I will, indicate to you that these are partners that we've worked with and that we trust. Our only goal is to best support you. So why I say that is if you are working with one of these partners and you are not happy with the service that you are being provided, then we want to make sure that you're in touch with us on that, so that we can continue to make sure that the resources that we have are best in class. I'm going to talk to you about ACCION. Some of you may have spoken to an ACCION rep, may have even taken a class from an ACCION rep while you were on site in Boston. I'm also going to talk to you about KIVA, which is a microloan program that's available. I'm going to talk to you about BoFly, which is an online kind of matching service that's available, and StreetShares. And then Kim is going to dig in on some of those other opportunities that I spoke of. So to start, let's talk about ACCION a little bit. So ACCION, they do provide loans, and the loan size average is about $10,000, but the loan sizes do range from about $500,000 to $300,000. But again, $10,000 is the average. Interest rates for that particular for their loans range from about 8% to 22%, and they are looking at what the eligibility for an ACCION loan is very typical, I would say, when you're looking at any loan program, and that they are looking at the C's of credit, which are character, credit, capacity, collateral, capital, and conditions. And yes, I'm looking at a cheat sheet because this is not my expertise. So certainly we're going to have some folks that you are going to be able to connect with from each of these organizations that can kind of give you the nitty-gritty if I'm not answering any questions that you may have about them. If you are interested in applying for an ACCION loan through BWise, we do recommend that you send us an executive summary, so we can at least make sure that you are that far. Certainly, you can go on to ACCION.org and you can go and you can apply directly through ACCION. A benefit to going through BWise is that they understand and know that you're a grad and that you've gone through our program. That is the main benefit to doing so. Across all of the access to capital opportunities that I'm going to talk to you about, I do also recommend, though, that you go on their website and you do take a look at what their specific eligibility criteria is. That's an important first step before you invest the time into the application that you are going to potentially fill out. The next one I'm going to talk to you about is BoFly, and I know for many this is probably a new one. So BoFly is I would say, if you were to think about an online dating service, if any of you have taken part in that, that's actually how they described it to me. So I'm going to use the same thing, but what it is they are matching you with a lender. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to put a profile in, and the lender is also putting a profile in, and they have over 5,000 lenders at this point that are part of BoFly, and then they're trying to create a match there for you. The benefit to going through BWise is they are waiving the $500 application fee. If you were to go straight through the BoFly site without going through the BWise site, going directly to the BWise site, there would be a $500 application fee. So, but if you want to go ahead and go through the BWise site, it would be bofly.com, and it is on the slide presentation that's available for you there, /BWise. So KIVA is another partner of ours. IVMF, the Institute for Veterans and Military Families, and as you know by now, BWise is a program of the IVMF here at Syracuse University. We are a top trustee, KIVA trustee. That means a lot of our graduates across many of our programs have found success with this particular program, and it is microloans, so it's very small loans, but could be what you are looking for depending on the needs of your business. $2,000 to $5,000 at a 0% interest rate for a period of 12 to 24 months. So looks a little bit different than some of the other access to capital opportunities that you may be looking at. What we want you to do for that is the same as we want you to go ahead and get your executive summary into us. They are also likely going to be requesting a business plan for you, so I would be prepared for that before you go ahead and look into the KIVA ZIP loans. We do encourage you to ask any questions that you may have about that, and we can lay the process out for you via email as well if that is helpful. Street Shares has been another good but more recent partner of ours. It is a veteran-owned company. I'm not sure if any of you out there have heard of Street Shares, but they're doing a great job of creating awareness for their company. They have a veteran-specific page on their website. It's easy to find. They only have about 4 or 5 tabs on their website, and it is one of them. So it's going to talk to you about some of the programs that are available just to veterans, and they do have some resources, free resources that are available as well. They've started a little bit of a library of resources specific to veterans, and we share a lot of the same partners. So a lot of good folks that they are working there. But how theirs works is a little bit different in that their loan is funded via an auction on the Street Shares site. So we are going to go ahead and you're basically going to put into they don't call it a profile, they call it a pitch. So you're going to build a business pitch, and they're going to put it out there, and that's how the match occurs. A little bit more of an auction. In order to use Street Shares, again, you can just go ahead. You actually don't need to put anything through VWise, so we're more creating awareness for you about this opportunity. StreetShares.com, it's pretty simple, and they have 1-, 3-, and 5-year business loans of $5,000 to $50,000. So pretty close to what you're going to see through ACCION as far as loan amounts are concerned. So I'm done covering access to capital right now. I know you will all continue to have those needs and questions, so stay in touch with us, and we will share additional opportunities as they become available. What I'm going to talk to you about right now is I'm going to talk to you about incorporation. One of our partners is Corpco. And for those of you that are just getting started and maybe already have some headaches over the paperwork that you need to do, the reason that we talk to you about Corpco is we want to give you a resource that you can use if you would like to, and they are giving us some discounted fees. As with anything, do your research. You may have a service in your hometown that's offering an even lower rate, but what you can do is you can hop on to the VWise grad website, and I'm actually going to have to backtrack after I go through and talk to you about Corpco, and I'm going to have to talk to you about how you actually do that, because that's an important first step. But we have a grad tab that's available via the VWise website, and you're going to be able to go to that grad tab, and you're going to see all these services listed, and on there is a Corpco chart that's indicating their discounted rates that they have specific to our graduates. So please allow me to backtrack a little bit, because I should have covered this with you right off the bat. I'm going to talk to you about how you go ahead and you get on our website, and if you were curious prior to starting the program about what that, and when you went to apply, what that little extra tab was at the very end, that is now for you. So you can go ahead and you can click on the VWise grad tab. That's at the very end, and there's going to be a drop down, and that drop down is going to have refer a friend, showcase your business, see what fellow grads are doing, and VWise Biz Support. What I want you to do is I want you to click on VWise Biz Support, and once you click on VWise Biz Support, you're going to see an opportunity to put in your username and password. We've made it really easy for you because we trust all of you, and all you need to do is put in VWise Student for your password, actually for your username, and then for your password, you're just going to put P, the @ $, $WORD, and that's all listed on the how to access slide that it should be up on your screen right now as well. And we can get these slides out to all of you to make it a little easier as well after the presentation. So if anybody needs a reminder, go ahead, click on VWise Biz Support, which is part of the drop-down grad tab. It's on the VWise website. A shortcut to the VWise website is vwise.org. Once you get on that Biz Support tab, you're going to have the opportunity to put in your username and password. Your username is VY Student, password is $$WORD. Once you get in there, then you're going to see all these partners, many of which I've already talked about. For Corpco specifically, which I wrapped up a couple minutes ago, you are going to see their various rates, many of which are discounted for our VYs graduates. In order to use any of the services that are listed there, it gives you proper instructions, and everyone's a little bit different. So I do encourage you to read through. These are the same instructions that are included in the Phase 3 PDF that we gave to you as well. All right, I'm going to talk about that business profile piece, showcase your business piece, which is another clickable part of that drop-down menu, and it's also a little button that you can click, an icon that you can click on the VY's grad page. And what that is, it's our initial opportunity to make sure that you guys are aware of not only who is in your class, but some of the other great businesses that are out there. I will tell you this is going to change quite a bit because we are preparing to launch a new website, and our goal is to get that website out to everyone this fall. So be on the lookout for that. But what will not change is the way that you're going to get the information over to us. So the look of it will change on the website, but certainly if you click on that little icon to showcase your business, you can go ahead and create your graduate profile. And it's going to include your logo and your picture and all sorts of good information about your company, and that's the way that we're going to pump out the information to not only, again, as I said, not only you, but across multiple classes. So you can get that into us now if you're ready to do that, and if not, then even if it's a few years down the road, we would love to get that information from you. That's also a way that we go back. If we have a particular partner that we're working with, or say there's a corporation that we're working with and they're looking for a particular product or service, that's a way for us to keep up with what you're doing and make a recommendation. So there's more than one reason why that's important information to get out there. Also, at some point, all of that information when we launch our new website is going to be public. So it's not going to be just your fellow grads that's looking for it. It is going to be searchable by folks that are outside of this more immediate network that we do have. I am going to hand it over to Kim now, and she is going to cover some of the IVMF internal supports that we have.
Megan, did Kim freeze up?
Okay, I think Kim froze up. I think her sound froze up. So what I'm going to do is take over for Kim until that's working for her. But I want to talk to you a little bit about IVMF educational programming, and we talked to you a little bit about this on site. So this is just a chance for us to review again with you in case these are opportunities that are interesting for you. The first one I want to talk to you about is the Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for Veterans with Disabilities. The EBD program is what we call our baby, in that it was the very first program that we had. It was even before the doors of the Institute for Veterans and Military Families opened. It started in 2007, and similar to the VY's program, there's well over 1,000 graduates now. To be eligible for that particular program, you do have to have a service-connected rating of whether it be 0 or 100 to 100%. You do have to have that rating, and you do have to be a post 9/11 veteran. There's also a families version of the program that happens twice per year. And so a little bit different eligibility criteria for that program. For that program, you have to be a caregiver of a veteran with a service-connected disability, again, post 9/11. Similar structure in that it is 3 phases in length as the BWISE program is, but what is different is phase 1 is 30 days in length opposed to that 15-day online. The second phase is an in-house residency experience, and it's 7 days in length. So we typically consider it 9 days when you include travel. And the third phase is ongoing mentorship and support. They've been around a little bit longer, so they have things like 40 hours of free legal instruction from DLA Piper, 20 hours of accounting advice, free accounting advice through CBiz, heavily discounted website and logo design. Those are just a few of the eaches that they have for that phase 3 support. There are 10 schools across the nation that are now executing that program once per year. If you were interested in that program, you'd go ahead and you'd apply. It's a little bit more rigorous than the VWISE application. If you were accepted into the program, at least initially, I should say if your application is accepted, you'll go through an interview process. If you're completely accepted into the program, you would be connected into one of the partner, either the Syracuse University program or one of the other partner schools, depending on which school you're accepted for. And everything is covered, so there's no out-of-pocket expense. For VWISE, you did have to cover your travel, and there were some other out-of-pocket expenses to include a registration fee. For VWISE, for EBV, everything is taken care of, so that does include your transportation, whether it be a plane or automobile. It does include all of your lodging, all of your food. There's not a dime that comes out, so it's a really we do have grads that go through all of our programs. So the next opportunity that I'm going to talk to you about, and I'm going to pull the slides back up so I make sure I'm on track, is the Veterans Career Transition Program. This is not particular to entrepreneurship as the VWISE and EBV programs are. This is particular to perhaps those that are just getting out of service, a military spouse who's getting out of service. This is applicable to the post 9/11 population as well. Whether you need some of those soft skills or more technical skills, this is a program that's completely online, has advisors, and can help you build a track towards your goals. So when we're talking about some of those soft skills, it might be perhaps help with some Microsoft Office skills. When we're talking about some of those technical skills, perhaps there's a certain certification. You have the skills that were developed perhaps in service or as a military spouse at some point, but you don't have the actual certification that is going to get you that job that you are seeking out. So there are a large number of certifications that they will help build your education towards. And if you do what you're supposed to with that education and follow your advisors' great advice and in training up for those certifications, you can actually have a certification paid for. Each person that is going through the program is eligible to have one certification that's paid for. So this is completely funded by JP Morgan Chase, so another really good opportunity that's available. Next slide, please. So Boots to Business in Reboot. So for those that perhaps hasn't transitioned out of service yet, you will have the opportunity to go through the Boots to Business program when you are going through your equivalent of the Transition Assistance Program. When you are getting out of service, you will have an opportunity. In fact, for active service, it's a mandatory opportunity to go through through the Transition Assistance Program. They'll talk about interview skills, resume, writing, all sorts of good stuff like that. And now there's, this has just been going on for a couple of years now, is the Boots to Business program. You will have the opportunity to choose an entrepreneurship track and either just do an initial 2-day training or dig in even further with an 8-week online. There's also a Reboot program that is that's being piloted in different cities across the nation. So Boots to Business is for those that are transitioning out, whereas Reboot is for all veterans, any era of service. So reach out and touch us, reach out and get in contact with us if that's interesting to you, and we can give you what the current schedule is for that. The IVMF resource library, that is a tool that's available via our main website, and that's vets.syr.edu. And you will see a drop-down. When you go to the programs drop-down menu, you will see on the very bottom the IVMF resource library. And we have an entrepreneurship-specific library that has a great range of data, whether you're looking for additional advice in marketing or finance or other. There is a drop-down. There are quite a few opportunities via the library for you. VetNet, we are actually considering this a VetNet Hangout. We have all of our VetNet Hangouts via the Google Plus platform. It's a really nice, more intimate way for us to connect with our graduates. And what we use the VetNet Entrepreneurship channel for in particular is we utilize it if, say, there was a topic that we weren't able to cover during a particular event. This is a great opportunity for us to bring in an expert and ensure that we're getting that education out there. That's just one way that we use it. Also, some of our partners, it's a great way for them to get on and talk about some of their services in a more in-depth way than I am able to in about a half-hour webinar with all of you. So what's nice about VetNet is all of our Hangouts have been recorded. So there's a great library of information there that for you. So if you can go to the next slide, please. This is just going more into detail on some of what I just covered, so we can kind of skip through this a little bit. So if we can go back one slide, Jim. Okay, so I want to give you that. I just talked to you about how to about past webinars. So you can view those webinars by going to youtube.com/IVMF SYRACUSE. And again, I will share this slideshow with all of you, so you don't need to necessarily write all of this down. You'll get all of this good information in the PowerPoint. So go to the next slide, please. So we are here at Syracuse University, and we did have a lot of questions on site about some of the other programs that are available. Not necessarily the education and training that I just shared with you via the IVMF, but external to the IVMF as part of Syracuse University. Where we started with it was the Whitman School of Management. So several of the professors that were available to you during the VWise program, they teach daily here at Syracuse University within the Whitman School of Management. They have an MBA that's particular to veterans. It is, you will be with, if you decided to go through this opportunity, you would also be with students who are not veterans as well, but they, in designing it, they paid particular attention to the needs of our veteran population. There is an emphasis on leadership, innovation, and entrepreneurship, and mentorship and experiential learning, which many of you, of course, bring into that. Next slide, please. Let's give you a minute to read through that. This slide talks a little bit about the MS in entrepreneurship, which is 30 credit hours. And importantly, you'll see that it is an emphasis on entrepreneurship specifically, which is a little bit different than some of the other MBA programs that are out there. As you know, we are supported by the U.S. Small Business Administration, and there are a number of programs that are going to continue to be available to you, not only directly through the VWise program, but the many agencies and technical arms of the Small Business Administration. So we encourage you to keep up with them. We've listed some of them here. The Women Business Centers, there were actually a couple that were on site during the VWise Boston program. the VBOCs. We had 3 that were, I don't know if you were aware, but we actually had 3 of our VBOC partners that were on site. There are 14 VBOCs. Those are Veteran Business Outreach Centers that are available throughout the United States. And you can find all of this information on the technical arms of the SBA just by going to sba.gov and going to that local assistance tab. That's a really helpful site for you. Once you get into that local assistance tab, you can type in your zip code. You can put in the radius that you want to go out depending on where you live. You may have to go out a little bit further than some of those that are in the more metropolitan areas. You can go ahead and put your state in there. And then what it will come up with is a listing of services that are particular to your area. And you can refine it. For those that might want to go to a women's business center, you can refine it and just look for those opportunities. For those that are interested in government contracting, as an example, you can go ahead and you can search just for a procurement and technical assistance center. So I know this is repetitive, that you did a lot of this during your phase 1. So I won't go to any further with that, but if you have any questions, just let us know. So this slide is actually incorrect because we have 1,809 graduates now. We always receive the question on how do I continue to stay connected, and so this is our slide to talk to you a little bit about that. Social media is a great way. We have a Facebook page that is fairly active. I would say very active, and a lot of good information is going out there, whether on that site, whether it be the IVMF, specifically the VWise program, our partner programs, or importantly, your graduates. A lot of great interaction there. So if you want to get to that, it's just facebook.com/VWise conference. You can also just Google VWise Facebook, and likely you're going to come to it. We also have Twitter and LinkedIn pages, and we're active on those as well. What you're going to see on LinkedIn is some more of the meatier content that we put out there. And there's a lot of really nice discussions that take place there. Again, this is across all of the alumni and not just particular to the Boston group. As I had mentioned when I started out, the Hangout is you're going to receive a quarterly newsletter, and that's going to come to you this fall via email. And that's just a nice way for us to continue to keep in touch and hopefully give you some information that's meaningful to you. That is our goal. And also, as mentioned before, we have a new VWise website that's coming out, and our goal is to get that out to you this fall, so be on the lookout. So unfortunately, Kim wasn't able to join you because her computer locked up on her, but she does pass on a hello to everyone, and we hope that you will continue to stay in touch and use the great resources that are available to you that will only become greater for you over time. And one of the greatest resources, of course, is your fellow graduates. So do your best to stay connected. I'm going to now take a look and see if there are any questions that have come in that I need to answer. I think that Kim and Jim have been answering readily. So there was a question, in order to get the most from this networking experience, what is the best way to stay in touch? Teresa, we shared via one of those last slides, and Jim, if you don't mind going back, we did touch on some of our social media networks. I would say if there's a particular area that you are looking to connect, and perhaps there wasn't somebody in your class that that was in the similar industry, certainly reach out and ask us, and we can search our database and see if we can provide a match for you. We do know some of that peer mentorship is very important. I'm not seeing any more questions, but I will give it a couple more minutes. See you soon, Rebecca. All right, we don't have any other questions coming out through Google or YouTube, so that's it for today. Thank you very much, and please let us know if you have any questions.